Un honor, fuerte aplauso, por favor, para Fang, presidente de OKX.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
De ahora más va en inglés, disculpen, va a estar traducido. Okay, so I'm Jay Rod, director of Benzinga, a US-based financial media outlet, and it's a pleasure to be here. This panel is named The Path to Security and Trust, How OKX Advancing Crypto Industry Standards, right? So OKX is the second biggest crypto exchange in the world by trading volume. Pretty impressive. And of course, being such a large crypto exchange, security is paramount, right? So can you explain a bit what's OKX approach to users and platform security?
Thank you. Yeah, I think security is a very sensitive topic. It touches all of us. Everyone here, myself included, want to keep our own value preserved in the right way. We want to keep our assets safe. So from our perspective as a platform, we look at security from three aspects. One is we want to make sure that people have a way to keep the asset safe from value erosion, right? Making sure that people have an exit. They have a choice to go and preserve their wealth in formats of money that are not manipulated. We want to build a better gateway to that exit. That's what we're here for. So I think that is really important starting point for why we built OKX in the first place, and why we are still here in this industry despite all the noises. The second part is to keep your assets safe on the CeFi platform. I think that's also very important. We view that as our major priority and responsibility as a CeFi platform on our CeFi product side. Because if customers come to our platform and custody their assets with us, we want to make sure that you feel your assets are safe. The way we're doing it, obviously, looking at both the platform security as well as customer security, user security. On the platform side, we do everything we can. We take it at basically our foundational value proposition since day one. There are a lot of internal security measures we take, and most recently we passed SOC 2 Type 2 compliance certificate, which is the most important security certificate, IT security certificate in the world. We emphasize a lot on IT information security, do regular training. We develop our proprietary custody wallet system with both cold wallet and warm wallet. We call it actually, generally the standard practice is hot wallet plus cold wallet, but we actually have warm wallet and cold wallet. Everything in cold wallet, once it touches the internet, it will not be used again. We obviously have various platform security that we have in place to make sure that our development environment internally are safe. Any individual mistake, if any, will not lead to a system mistake or security breach. We have been around for 10 years now. Luckily, we haven't had any major platform level hacking. Obviously, sometimes customers will have some hacking situations. So we actually also, over the last 10 years, invested a lot in building tools to help our customers identify the phishing risks, hacking risks, enhance the application level security so that our app out there is a less risk of being hacked on the consumer side. The other big part of CeFi security is how do you actually keep it safe from us, right? From the most recent FTX situation. If I am a customer, how am I comfortable that you guys are not using our assets for some other reasons? How can I be sure that my assets are there? There are multiple ways of addressing it, but we believe that accountability and transparency through technology is the ultimate solution. That's why we developed our proof of reserve program which is now a automated monthly program that is powered by ZK Stark's technology. And it's out there, we refresh it every month. It covers 22 assets now. We started with 3 assets, now it covers 22 assets.
Impressive.
We published our public and private addresses. We started with 20,000-ish addresses. Now it's 350,000 addresses that we already put out there that users can go and monitor the inflow and outflow, if any, and identify any patterns. So I think that is really important, proof of reserve.
Totally.
The last piece is how do you keep your assets safe from CeFi platforms. Not only using the proof of reserve program to prove that the assets are there, but how do we give our customers the option to take control for themselves? So we have invested very heavily in Web3 wallets. If you download OKX app, you'll see on the one side of the top menu, it's exchange, the other side is wallet. You can swap over and go straight into a self-custody mode. And we have made a lot of upgrade to the Web3 wallet over the last 12 months, adding MPC feature and AA feature, which I think is really important because for MPC feature, for example, it actually helps customers keep the assets safe from their own mistakes, right? Because if you self-custody, you'll know there are 12 seeds, phrases that you have to remember, and if you lose the seed, phrases that you may not be able to recover the assets. With MPC, we also have 2 out of 3 MPC technology, so you can actually recover if you have the customers have 2 out of the 3 keys, and if the customer lose 1 key, they can come to us and use our key, the 1 key that exchange hold for the customer to recover the wallet. So I think that is also important. Our Web3 wallet team also invested a lot in anti-phishing, anti-malicious address techniques in Web3 wallet. For example, if you are using our OKX wallet in a self-custody mode, if you happen to be transacting with a malicious address, you will receive an alert saying that, hey, do you actually want to do it? If you are interacting with a malicious smart contract, you will receive an alert. Are we going to catch every bad actors out there? Probably not, but we have a pretty strong team who has been working on on-chain data analytics for 5+ years now. So I would like to think that capability is pretty strong there. So that's basically
Great.
how we...
What an awesome work your guys are doing. It's impressive. In terms of regulatory compliance, what role does regulatory compliance play in how OKX shapes security?
It does have an implication, particularly on the CeFi side, because when customers come to a CeFi platform, the biggest value that the platform can provide, number 1 is a smooth on-ramp experience, and number 2 is strong liquidity, right? A global strong liquidity like our platform. But you also want to make sure that you don't end up inadvertently trading with a counterparty that is not good. So we do have a pretty strong global compliance program in place that would make sure that we actually do not let money launderers and backdarters in that happen to taint the rest of the platform's money inflow and outflow. The second piece is sometimes we will also see fraudsters. They would, just like in TradFi, they would try to defraud certain vulnerable populations. And we have strong risk management rules and systems in place to identify abnormal patterns. If we see some, things that we don't generally see in our platform for a certain type of population, we'll probably reach out and confirm, is this what you actually want to do? Is this yourself? So that we can help our customers protect their assets. Sometimes we may temporarily put a transaction on pause, particularly when it comes to withdrawal, because sometimes if the fraudsters move the money out before we cash them, then the loss is on the customer side. So we will try to do that. It's a constant evolving process.
Of course. So we know that a single mistake from a company can affect the entire industry, right? So
Yeah.
how can industry cooperation help support the quality and the basic standards of security in the industry?
I think with industry events over the last 12 months, the biggest challenge and opportunity for the industry is to improve the transparency of the CeFi platform. I think that's really the most important thing. Because when we started in crypto, we want to disrupt the centralized model, disrupt the intermediary model, and provide more distributed empowerment to individuals. But there is such a period and an area where we just have to rely on CeFi services to bridge the gap. And that's where we can, different from TradFi, in a crypto CeFi platform, we do have tools and technology available to provide more transparency in a way that a traditional bank won't be able to do that, right? If you look at traditional banking sector, you can only rely on semi-annual or quarterly audited financials, which is one-time snapshot of what's actually happening on the balance sheet of a bank. With a CeFi platform in crypto, for the on-chain assets, there are ways to provide real-time or more regular visibility into the assets and liability of that platform in a more transparent way, with less reliance on third-party trust, either a trust on the platform or the trust on the auditor. You don't have to say, trust me. You should say, prove it to me. And that's, I think, what the crisis, what type of opportunities that the challenge actually brought us, which is, it really pushes all the major participants in the industry to say, let's prove it to you that we have your assets here. You don't have to just take my words for granted or take my words at face value. I think that's a breakthrough that probably would not happen so fast without the FTX situation, but I think it's great to see. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of our monthly proof of reserve program. So I think it's good to see different, more than one participants in the industry to do that, and hopefully we can make that more of a standard going forward.
Here in Argentina, we love self-custody. We love a lot of Bitcoin maxis here.
Yeah.
So you explain a bit how you have your own app differentiated the CeFi and DeFi, right? So what is OKX views on self-regulation, and how does that guide your approach to security?
I think the essence of crypto is really all about accountability. It's really all about accountability. It's about every individual owns our own freedom, but to get that freedom, you have to take responsibility for yourself. That means our platform have to be responsible for what we do, and again, prove what we're doing is what we're doing. And then our customers take responsibility for what they want to own. And we offer our customers that set of tools to be able to do that. So from our perspective, self-regulation again means that to the extent that we can leverage product and technology to decentralize and move things on chain, and keep it more transparent and hold ourselves accountable in public, we will do that. To the extent that we cannot move things on chain, that we follow the traditional way of getting licenses.
What a rain, huh?
Beautiful. It's the spring, sound of spring.
Good harvest, good harvest.
Yeah. But we also want to push our customers to the self-custody side. If we have a choice, even on the CeFi platform, we would love not to custody for our customers. We would love to have our customers custody for themselves. But we also understand that there is a level of threshold that the larger population have to cross. For the early adopters, like people sitting here, you probably already got used to the technical sophistication and threshold to hold assets for yourself. But we cannot assume that everyone else will do the same and will be able to do the same safely. So I think part of us is also to have that discipline to continue to invest in Web3 technology, and that's why we, proud ourselves in pushing out the MPC feature on the wallet side. I think for those who have been using it, there has been good feedback, and I would love any other constructive feedback that may be out there to help us continue to improve.
Moving on to a topic that we always love to discuss, adoption, right?
Yeah.
Adoption. How can we accelerate adoption? Can we bring more users to our platform? How can we accelerate adoption but keep relying on security, right? Without compromising the security.
I think ultimately, my read is that adoption comes from two sides. That's my personal point of view. It's not the platform point of view. One side is crisis, unfortunately, pains and pain points and crisis. When people are not happy with their current set of opportunities, they will look for other ways. They will look for an exit. I think, unfortunately, big changes only come when people feel big pains. And that's, I think, why for crypto industry, the CeFi platform, the proof of reserve program didn't come until the big fail of FTX. That's also why around the world, the adoption of Bitcoin is so much stronger in Latin America, in Middle East, in Africa, in regions where there's less of an access to either USD or other form of preservation of wealth that is low time preference. I think that will continue, and we see that also in US over the last 2 or 3 years, right? With the banking crisis, with people's increasing awareness of the inflation risk, there's a lot more flight to safety. So I think unfortunately those pains will continue to be a driver for adoption. The other major element for adoption is still going to be technology, I believe. It's still going to be technology. I think a lot of the hardcore players in the industry has been talking about self-custody for such a long time. And we always feel like, oh, when there is a safety, even when FTX and some of the other situations happen, we will believe that people will fly to self-custody. But the reality is most people like convenience. And when you have to choose between convenience and safety, sometimes people forget and just settle with convenience. So I think the only way to really increase adoption while preserving the ethos of crypto is really to continue to invest and push on technology. How do we preserve that self-custody element, preserve the ownership of individuals while helping to reduce the threshold, making it more convenient, making it easier, and protecting us as users from ourselves, because we all make mistakes, right? That's why initially why we use banks, because we don't want to lose money by hiding our cash somewhere and forget about it and throw it in the garbage or some whatever. So I think there has to be technology solutions that we continue to push in the industry.
This fireside has reached an end. Thank you for your time, and welcome to Argentina.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Jose.